over the last 12 years of doing it, we've kind of started off, when we first started, we had little small brews on the kitchen table. We'd sit there and watch it bubble away and ferment.
Persuade all our friends to try it.
Yeah. And so that's how we started. And it just seemed like everywhere you looked, when you looked from a microbial level, it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. So for me, the passion really grew on microbes. And the main thing that got me is the more I studied them, the more I realized all life came from microbes. 5 billion years ago, this world was, the only life form here was microbes. And from that soup, all life, everything, every living thing you see on the planet then came from that soup. We evolved in different ways and did different things, but that was the original mix. And so now recognizing that life came from there, and also now that life is still sustained by those same microbes. Yeah. If you think about it for a second, when you get up in the morning, you have your breakfast, right? You eat a banana and you have a Weetabix or whatever. By the middle part of the day or the afternoon, that banana and that Weetabix has now become us, you. Think of the intelligence that it takes to take a banana and some Weetabix and turn it into you, flesh and blood and all these things we can do. That's incredible intelligence, and most of us don't give much thought to that. You just go, oh, well, you just eat a banana and that's it. But no, and much of all that process is conducted through your microbiome, through our microbes or the microbes that are around us.
And of course, we're totally unconscious of that. It's happening in our system automatically. And it is a very new science that we're just beginning to understand. In fact, one of the things that I remember thinking when we started was, how are we going to explain this to people? I mean, it's incredibly complicated. It's a whole new way of thinking that instead of killing 99% of all germs and, using these chemicals in our houses and in our cells and on our soils, we switch it. Could we switch it? That we actually work with nature instead of trying to control it.
You can't kill the microbial world. Each time you use a bleach, each time you use a disinfectant or something like that, some chemical, all the microbes are just getting together, the ones that survive, and some do survive. They will then evolve until they don't get killed. And then you start creating the pathogens. You start creating
the superbugs.
The superbugs. Yeah. And it's like, if we lived in harmony with them, they wouldn't need to do that. They wouldn't become a threat to us.
And how are we going to explain that to people when there's all this advertising out there that's so contrary? But over the last 12 years, it's just been everywhere. There's lots of studies done now that really prove the link between this microbiome and our health, not only our physical health, but our mental health. And the more that comes out, the more it kind of supports us, but also just reinforces what we kind of have been learning about as well, so that it's not just us that's educating people. It seems to be everywhere. And I just feel really privileged that we're in this field too, that we're part of it.